This conference will now be recorded.
What is the agenda for today's classes? We will have a 60-minute session now. In the 60-minute session, what is the agenda is? We'll have complete introduction to Power BI. Introduction to Power BI. In the 60-minute session, you not only understand about introduction to Power BI, you will be understanding about this Power BI architecture. I'm opening this. This is nothing but a Power BI architecture. By end of this 60-minute session, you'll get the clear idea about this Power BI architecture, guys. Right, important. So 60 minutes class is important. To understand Power BI thoroughly, the 60 minutes is important. Let's start. First point is, before I go and start explaining this too, I want to ask one question. Who who developed the Power BI software? Which company developed this Power BI software? Which company developed it?
Microsoft.
Microsoft. Yes, correct. Microsoft is the company who developed the Power BI software. Okay, what is the online people? Just to avoid disturbance, I'll mute you. Microsoft is the company who developed Power BI. Now the question is, okay, Microsoft developed it. Who will use it? First question is, who will use Power BI software? First question. The second question is, you join today's session to learn Power BI. You guys join today's session to learn Power BI. Within 2 months, you will learn Power BI. Once you people learn Power BI, we call you as Power BI developer, or we also call you as data analyst. Power BI developer or data analyst, one and the same. So you join with us today, and within 2 months, once you learn Power BI, you become what? Either a Power BI developer, either a data analyst. Second question is, who will give the job for you? After 2 months, once you learn this course, who will give the job for you? Second question is, who will hire Power BI developers or data analyst? For both these questions, answer is same, guys. What is the answer is? For both these questions, answer is same. First, when there is any company, take any company, a small company to a top MNC. Examples for some companies is Amazon is one company, Flipkart is one company, Dell is one company. Like this, HDFC is one company, Swiggy is some company. Like this, when there is any company, there are lot of hundreds of companies here. When there is a company, what they will do is that company will do some business. When there is any company, they'll do some business. Amazon is doing lot of business. One among the business Amazon is doing is what business? E-commerce. Flipkart is also doing what business? E-commerce. Dell is doing what business? Some retail business. HDFC is doing what business? Banking business. Swiggy is doing what business? Food business. See, when a company is there, it will do some business, guys. When a company is doing some business, out of the business, they'll get some business data. When any company is doing the business, what they'll get? Business data. Let's say when Amazon is doing e-commerce business, they'll get some business data. What business data they'll get is, when you place an order related data is business data. Customers related data is business data. Products related data, what are the products they are selling? Products related data is business data. In Amazon, you'll go and place an order. Order will generate the data: order date, ship date, how much quantity you ordered, what is the sales amount. All this comes under business data, guys. Same way, Flipkart also will generate this kind of business data. Let's take an example. HDFC is there. HDFC is doing some banking business. What kind of business data they'll get? Transaction related data, loans related data, credit cards related data, savings account data, like this, insurance data. Lot of data they'll get it. Right. What is the next step? Okay, company is there, they'll get business data. Generally, the business data when company is getting, some companies will store their business data in the Excel files. Some companies will store their business data in the SQL server. Some companies will store their business data in the Oracle database or some other place also. It will be stored in somewhere, guys. Generally, in software terminology, we call them as either data sources or we call them as either OLTPs. Okay. Now, when a company is doing the business, when they get the business data, they will store in data sources. What is the next step? In Power BI point of view, what is the next step is whatever the data they are storing here, they need to analyze it. They need to analyze it. Let's say HDFC Bank is storing their data here. HDFC Bank is storing the data here. They want to create some reports to analyze the data, like how many customers taken the loans. So like this, they want to generate some reports, guys. What is the next step when the data is there in the data sources? They want to analyze the data. They want to analyze the data. Generally, how the companies will analyze the data is by creating reports. Important point you need to understand is, let's say Flipkart company is storing their e-commerce data. They want to understand what is the quantity sold, what is the total sales amount they received, what is the profit amount they received. Like this, they want to month wise what is the sales they are generating. So like this, they want to perform some analysis on their business data. So how we'll perform the analysis is by creating reports. We will analyze the business data, guys. Any company, when they want to analyze the business data, when they want to analyze the business data, what they need to create is they need to create the reports. Let me show some sample reports to you. I'll just show you some sample reports how the companies will create app.powerbi.com. I'm just showing some sample reports how we will create in Power BI to analyze the business data. I'll just go to sample reports and I'll open a couple of reports here just to show you how the companies will create to analyze the business data. Fine. I'm just opening some of the reports here, how the companies will create to analyze the business data. Look at this. What is the report name? E-commerce sales report. So here, that e-commerce company have how many customers? That customers placed how much quantity they purchased? What is the sales amount they paid? What is the profit the company received? Each month wise, what is their sales values? Each state, what is the sales they are generating? Like this, we will generate some reports, guys. We'll generate each segment, in which segment we are getting more sales. Consumer is the segment where we are getting more sales, and corporate, home office. Like this, we'll generate some reports to analyze the business data. Here, these reports are interactive. We can go and select any category. Only that category related data we can see. When I select technology related data, it will show here. Like this, we'll generate some reports to analyze the business data. Any company, when they want to analyze the business data, they want to generate this kind of reports. I'm just showing some more reports here. All these are reports. Human resource sample report. We will generate some reports like this in order to analyze the business data. We'll generate this kind of reports. So important point you need to understand here is, in order to generate this kind of reports, we need some software, guys. In order to generate this kind of reports, what we need? We need one software. That software is what here? Power BI. So when any company want to analyze the data by generating some reports, they need one software. That software here is Power BI, guys. What this company will do is, let's say when Flipkart company want to analyze the data by creating some reports, Flipkart company will go to Microsoft. From Microsoft, they will buy what? Power BI software. So, okay, the what Power BI software, what is the use of Power BI software is Power BI will help us in generating what? Reports. That reports will help us in analyzing what? Business data. Now, do you think that Power BI will generate the reports automatically by its own means? No. Who will generate the reports using Power BI? Power BI developer. This company not only go and purchase Power BI software, even they need to go and hire what? Power BI developer also. Power BI developer. Now, tell me what happens here is Power BI developer will use the Power BI software. Using the Power BI software, Power BI developer will generate what? Reports. That reports will help companies to do what? Analyze the data. That's what, guys. Now, tell me who will use Power BI software means any company who need to analyze their business data by generating the reports, they will use which software? Power BI software. In the same way, who will hire Power BI developer means Any company who need to analyze the business data using Power BI software, they will hire what? Power BI developer. For these two questions, we know the answer, guys. Okay, you join Power BI course, you learn Power BI course in 2 months, guys. You learn Power BI within 2 months. Once you learn Power BI, you will join in one of the company. Why you will join in that company means to analyze the data. Why you join in that company? To analyze the business data. So why this company hired you as a Power BI developer means you need to analyze the business data. Now I will tell you, when you join in the company, what you need to do, I'll tell you guys. So here in Power BI, there is BI. Do you know what is the full form of this BI? Business intelligence. Oh, what is this business intelligence? Let me tell you guys. When you join in the company, once you learn Power BI, you'll become a Power BI. Within 2 months, you'll learn Power BI. You'll become a Power BI developer. Power BI developer will join in one company. That Power BI developer will join in one company to analyze the data. Now, what you need to do? Power BI developer in that company, what he need to do is Power BI developer need to implement the business intelligence process to analyze the company's business data. By implementing business intelligence process, Power BI developer will analyze the company's business data, guys. By implementing business intelligence process, business intelligence, in short, we call it as what? BI process. Power BI developer will analyze the company's business data. Power BI developer will analyze the company's business data, guys. Sorry, guys. Will analyze the company's business data. See, tomorrow, any Power BI developer, when he join in the company, in order to analyze the company's data, what this Power BI developer need to do is, Power BI developer need to implement which process? Business intelligence process. When Power BI developer implement this business intelligence process, that business intelligence process will help to analyze the business data. Now, you need to understand what is business intelligence process first. Power BI developer need to have a clear idea what is business intelligence process. First we'll understand what is business intelligence process. Why Power BI developer need to have a clear idea about business intelligence process means tomorrow when you join in any company, you need to do the same thing there. That is the reason. Second point is to implement that business intelligence process, we need one software. That software is what here? Power BI. Second point you need to understand is how to implement the business intelligence process. How to implement what process? Business intelligence process using Power BI, you need to know. If you know these two things, you will clearly understand today's class, guys. You'll understand introduction to Power BI and Power BI architecture. Let me explain. First, I'll try to explain for 15 minutes of time what is business intelligence process, guys. First, I'll try to explain 15 minutes of time what is business intelligence process, and then I'll explain how to implement the business intelligence process using what? Power BI. Fine. First, I'll start with the definition of business intelligence. What is the definition of business intelligence is? Business intelligence is a process which converts business data business data into actionable information, guys. Business data into what? Actionable information. This is the definition for business intelligence. Okay, let me show you what that business intelligence is. I'm opening business intelligence architecture, guys. This complete one, we call it as business intelligence architecture or business intelligence process. You need to have a clear idea about this process, guys. So first point I need to tell is business intelligence is a 5-step process. Business intelligence is how many steps process? 5-step process. What are the 5 steps you will have in the BA process? In the 5 steps, what you are going to do is you are going to convert company's business data into what? Actionable information. What are that 5 steps is? First step is OLTP databases. Second step is ETL. Third step is creating OLAP database. Fourth step is creating reports or visuals. Fifth step is sharing the reports with the clients. These are the 5 steps you will have in the BI process. You need to have a clear idea what OLTP is, what ETL is, what OLAP is, what reports is, all this. Right? Let's try to,
Can, can you say again the ETL just like that in
sorry.
ETL just like the two lines? What is the word
I
for
will
ETL?
explain. I will explain everything. I'll give idea about everything. Just few seconds. Right. Let me explain, guys. So I said that business intelligence is a five-step process. You need to have a clear idea. First step is what?
Will we
OLTP.
get this notepad, what you're making?
You'll get this notepad. You'll get this notepad. You'll get this recorded session. You'll get it.
Thank you.
First one is you don't need to do anything. You don't need to write anything. Please concentrate on the class. OLTP. Second one is what? ETL. Third step is what? OLAP database. Fourth step is what? Creating reports. Fifth step is what? Share reports to the clients with clients. Share the reports with clients. Right. These are the five steps you'll have in the BA process. Let me give you an idea what each step, what each one is important, what each one will try to understand. First, we'll start with OLTP, guys. What is the full form for OLTP? So you want to understand business intelligence process will start at OLTP systems. Business intelligence process will ends with what? Clients. So first let me try to explain what OLTP is. What is the full form for OLTP means? Online transactional processing. Let me tell you what is this online transactional processing. First, I'll write the definition of OLTP. The place where companies stores business data. Companies stores business data. Business data. Business data. Another name is transactional data. Some people will call business data as what? Transactional data. The place where companies store transactional data or business data, we call as OLTP systems. We call it as what? OLTP systems. I already said that when a company is doing the business, they'll get what? Business data. That business data need to store somewhere. So I said that some companies will store their business data in SQL Server. Then in software terminology, we call the SQL Server as what? Online transactional processing. It's a name, guys. My name is Sunil. Why I have a name for me? For identity purpose, right? In the software field also, everything will have some name for identity purpose. So here, wherever companies are storing their business data, the place where companies store their business data or transactional data, they call it as what? OLTP systems. So OLTP systems generally what it contains is either a, that is the reason here in the name itself you have what? Transactional. Online transactional processing means it will store transactional data. So you can tell that the OLTP will contains business data, guys. Business data. So understand here, I went and placed an order in the Amazon website, guys. Or else I went and placed an order in the Flipkart. When you place an order in the Flipkart, it will generate some business data. Let's say I place an order in the Flipkart. When I place an order in the Flipkart, it will generate what means business data. So that business data it need to store somewhere. So let's say my company is storing that business data in the SQL Server. When a company is storing the data in the SQL Server we call it as what? OLTP. OLTP. Right. So this order also we call it as transaction. What is the another name for order? Transaction. The transaction will generate some data. The transactional data or business data. So if the company is storing the transactional data in Oracle, then we call Oracle as what? OLTP. Wherever company is storing the business data, we call it as OLTP systems, guys. Simple. So another important point you need to understand is some companies will store their business data in one OLTP system itself. To the Power BI developer, they will provide only one OLTP system. Using only one OLTP systems data, they will ask you to generate the reports to analyze the data. Sometimes some companies will store a part of business data in one OLTP system, some other business data in another OLTP system. They might provide both the OLTP systems to the Power BI developer. They will ask you to generate the reports. The meaning is to the Power BI developer, companies will provide either single OLTP system or sometimes they will provide what? Multiple. Some companies will store all their business data in one OLTP itself. All their business data in one OLTP. and they will ask you to generate the reports. Sometimes some business data in one OLTP, some other business data in another OLTP. You need to analyze both the OLTP's data together. You need to show it in the reports. Fine, we understand at a high level what is OLTP. We'll understand a lot of things about OLTP. For now, we understand that companies will store their business data either in single OLTP system or what, multiple OLTP systems. So Power BI developer work will start in where means Power BI developer work will start in OLTP systems, guys. Where? OLTP systems. Who will provide this OLTP systems to the Power BI developer means companies. Companies will provide. Once they provide the OLTP systems, they will ask you to analyze the data which is there in the OLTP. In order to analyze the data, what you need to create? Reports. An important thing is it is never recommended to create reports on OLTPs, guys. Let me write one important point. Note, it is never recommended. It is never recommended to perform analysis directly on OLTP databases. So we'll perform analysis by creating reports, guys. How will perform analysis? I already said that a company will perform analysis by creating what? Reports. What is the meaning is? This OLTP database is not recommended to perform analysis, or this OLTP database is not recommended to create reports on top of it. Why it is not recommended? I'll discuss. Then what a Power BI developer need to do is Power BI developer need to create a separate database called what? OLAP database. Important point you need to understand is Power BI developer need to create a separate database called OLAP database. OLAP database. So who will provide the OLTP databases to the Power BI developer means company. Who need to create OLAP database means Power BI developer need to create it. Power BI developer need to create it. Why he need to create means as OLTPs are not recommended for creating the reports. In order to create the reports, I need one database, that is OLAP database. What is the full form for OLAP database? Online analytical processing. I'll talk about it. Online analytical processing. Now, Power BI developer need to move data from OLTP database to OLAP database. So, as he is creating a new database, into that new database, he need to move the data from OLTPs. To move the data, they need one software called what? ETL. Let me write here. To move data from OLTP database to OLAP database, we need what softwares? ETL softwares. What ETL stands for? Extract, transform, load. We'll understand. Now, the question is, what data we need to move into the OLAP? OLTP will contains complete business data. Out of complete business data, using ETL tools, what data you need to move to the OLAP means, into the OLAP you need to move only the data that is required for what? Analysis. What is the meaning? In the name itself you have. What is the full form for OLAP? Online analytical processing. That means it need to have only the data which is required for what purpose? Analysis. The meaning is what data I need to show in the reports. What data your client is asking to show in the reports. Only that data you need to bring it to the OLAP from OLTP. Let's say my OLTP have HR data. My OLTP have HR data. My OLTP have finance data. My OLTP have sales data. How many types of companies data you have in the OLTP? Three types of business data: HR, finance, sales. But my client is asking to generate the reports on only sales data. In all your client reports, client is asking to show what data now? Only the sales data. Now tell me from OLTP to OLAP, what data you need to move? Do you need to move HR data? No, no. Do you need to move finance data? No, you need to move only what? Sales data. What data you need to show in the reports? Only the data you need to move it to the OLAP. Right, that we call it as data that is required for what? Analysis. OLAP database need to have only the data that is required for what? Analysis. To move this data from OLTP to OLAP, which tools will help us is ETL. ETL tools will connect to the OLAP. It will extract the tables. It will transform the data in the tables. It will load the tables into the OLAP database. That OLAP database will use it for creating what? Reports. Now, I want to tell one point. If Power BI developer can create the reports directly on OLTP database, we no need to do ETL. We no need to create OLAP database. He will save a lot of time. Power BI developer will save a lot of time when we go and directly create the reports on OLTP. But we are not. It is not recommended. Let's try to understand why OLTP database is not recommended. See, it's also database. Now into the OLAP database, are you bringing any new data from outside? No, you are bringing it from where? OLTPs itself, right? But if you can generate the reports directly on OLTPs, Power BI developer no need to do ETL. Power BI developer no need to create OLAP database. He will save a lot of time. Even though he will save a lot of time, we never do this. Why we never do this? Why we need to always create OLAP database? Let me tell you guys. In the coming classes, for 60 minutes of time, I'll practically discuss differences between OLTP database and OLAP database. Why OLTP database are not recommended for reporting? Why OLAP database is best suitable for creating reports? For now, I'll tell you at a high level why we need to create a OLAP database. At a high level, I'll explain, guys. To explain this, I'll open one document. I'll just open one data warehousing document. There are two types of databases available. First type of database, we call it as what? OLTP database. We are telling that those databases are not recommended for creating the reports. What is the second type of database we have? OLAP database. It is best suitable for creating what? Reports. Why? Let me tell you. So I'll tell you at a high level. As I said, we don't have much time. So I will tell you at a high level. Generally, OLTP databases will have normalized data, guys. What type of data will have? Normalized. What is normalized data? Why we will have normalized data in the OLTP databases in the coming classes I'll discuss. For now, you need to believe me. OLTP database will have what type of data? Normalized. If you know the concept of normalized, you will understand to store the normalized data, we need more tables. We need what? More tables. The final note is generally in OLTP database, data will be stored in what? More number of tables. More number of tables. When data is there in the more number of tables, when you go and create the reports on more number of tables, when you share that reports with the client, when the client open this report, he need to wait for 2 to 3 minutes of time to see the data. Why he need to wait for 2 to 3 minutes of time to see the data means every time when client open the report, it will go to the database, it will collect the data from the tables, it will join the data in the runtime, it will show the data in the report. Each box is one table, address is one table, countries is one table, orders is one table, categories is one table, products is one table. Every time when client open the report, it need to go and collect the data from all the tables, it need to join the tables, and it need to show the results in the report. To do that, it might even take what? 3 minutes of time. Client want to wait 3 minutes of time to see the data in the report when you create on OLTP. The major problem with OLTP database is performance issues, guys. So client will waste every time when he open the report, he will waste 3 minutes of his time. So performance issues will be there. The major reason why we don't create the reports on OLTP databases is performance issues, time taking. That is the reason we'll create a separate database called what? OLAP database. OLAP database will have denormalized data. What type of data will have? Denormalized. There I said normalized. Here it is what? Denormalized. I'll explain what is denormalized, why we will store denormalized data in the OLAP database. So in order to store denormalized data, we just need less tables. We need what? Less table. When you go and create the report on less tables, when you share that report with the client, this time when my client open the report, he can see the data within 10 to 20 seconds of time. How we can see the data within 10 to 20 seconds of time? Less tables. Collect, it need to collect the data from less tables, it need to join the data less tables, it can show quickly. The major advantage with OLAP databases is what? Performance. They will improve the performance within seconds. You can show. Let me write few points. When client provided OLTP databases, why we are not creating reports on OLTP databases? The major reason is in OLTP databases we'll have what type of data? Normalized data. In order to store normalized data, we need what? More tables. So when I try to create a report on more number of tables, when I try to share that report with my client, clients need to wait for more time to see the data, right? That is the reason who want to create OLAP database? Power BI developer. In OLAP database we'll store what type of data? Denormalized data. In order to store denormalized data, we just need what? Less tables. When I go and create the reports on less tables, when I share that reports with the clients, clients can see the data within few seconds. Right now, roughly in OLTP database, if you see here, it is having around 20 tables. Roughly, I'm telling 20 tables. But when it comes to OLAP database, roughly you have how many tables? 5 or 6 tables are there. Right now, let's say in roughly, I'm telling us it's not the always same figure. So in OLTP database, if you have 20 tables to store some business data, same data in OLAP, you'll have just around in how many tables? 5 tables. How? This 20 tables data will be converted to the 5 tables is with the help of tools called what? ETL. ETL tool will take 20 tables. E stands for extract. Extract means taking how many tables? 20 tables. Second one is what? Transform. Whatever the 20 tables I taken, I will combine the 20 tables into how many tables? 5 tables. Combining 20 tables to 5 tables comes under what? Transform. The transformer tables will load into where? OLAP. The tables will use it for what? Creating the reports. That reports will give what? Better performance. So, fine. So at a high level, we understand what is OLTP, what it contains, what is OLAP, what it contains, how the data will be. We understand, guys. So lot of differences I'll give in the coming classes. What is normalized data? What is denormalized data? How you'll convert this normalized data to denormalized data in the ETL tools. Everything practically I'll show you. Now we understand OLTP and OLAP. Let's talk about ETL. So in the ETL, extracting the data is nothing. Loading the data is nothing, guys. Important thing you need to understand is in ETL softwares, extracting the data is nothing. Loading the data is nothing. The major work in any ETL software is what? Transforming the data. The major work in any ETL software is transform. Let me tell you, transform. Transforming the data. Transform means, what is the definition for transform is converting data from one format to another format we call as what? Transform. So in one of our examples, combining 20 tables to 5 tables also comes under what? Transform. What you are doing is you are combining data from one format to what? Another. This is 20, this is 5. It is changing or not? So whenever any changes happen, that comes under what? Transform. Let me give another example. Lot of times when a client provided the data in the source systems, it will be in one format. Same data client might expect to see in the reports in another format. In another format. Let's take an example. In SQL Server, I have a customers table. What table you have? Customers table. In that customers table, you have customer name in 3 columns. First name, middle name, last name. 3 columns. The same customer name client is asking to show in the reports like customer full name. How they are asking to show? Customer full name. In the source, customer name is there in how many columns? 3 columns. In the output, they are expecting in how many columns? 1 column. Now what I need to do is I need to transform the data. See here, you need to take customers table into the ETL tool. Once after taking the customers table, second step is what? Transform the data how you need to show in the report. Transform the data how you need to show in the report. Once you take the customers table, in customers table you will have customer name in how many columns? 3 columns. You need to combine the 3 columns to what? 1 column. Whenever we make data changes, 3 columns you are combining to what? 1 column. Whenever you are converting the data from one format to another format, it comes under what? Transform. That 1 column you load customer full name into OLAP. That full name you will use in where? Reports. So lot of times when your client provided the data, it will be in one format in the sources. The same data client might be expecting to see in another format. Here customer name only, but format is different. 3 columns, 1 columns, right? Right. So ETL tools will play a key role in any BI projects, guys. Any BI projects, not only Power BI projects, any BI projects, it will play a key role. You need to take the necessary data from OLTP databases. You need to transform the data how I need to show in the reports. The transformed data I need to load in the OLAP databases. The data I need to use in where? Reports. So what we understand here is, we understand OLTP also contains data in the form of tables. OLAP also contains data in the form of tables. But major difference is in OLTP database, data will be in what? Less tables. Sorry. OLTP database data is one what? More tables. In OLAP database, data is in what? Less tables, guys. Less tables. Now, when client want to understand this OLAP database data, tables data, we need to present the tables data in what? Reports format. You need to create this kind of reports. Once OLAP database is ready, on OLAP database, you need to create this report. This kind of reports will be created on OLTP or OLAP. OLTP or OLAP means you will create on what? OLAP. OLAP. So once you build OLAP database, that OLAP database you use for what? Creating the reports. Whatever the information I shown in the reports, we generally call it as actionable information, guys. Understand? The information which we shown in the reports, we call it as what information? Actionable information. Why it is actionable information? Let me explain, guys. Why it is actionable information is, to explain why it is actionable information, I'll open one of the report here. Let me open one of the report. And why we call it as actionable information, let me tell you. I'm just going and opening. So here you are showing one of the report where you are showing subcategory wise profits, guys. What you are showing here, each subcategory, one company is selling lot of subcategories. What is the profits they are giving? You are showing. Which one is giving highest profits? Copiers. Second highest profits? Phones. Least profit? Tables. Now I share this report with my client. When I share this report with my client decided to stop selling suppliers, bookcases, tables. Why he decided to stop selling them? They're giving negative profits. They're giving what? The amount I spend to build the tables is more. The amount I received is less. So as there is negative profits, they're planning to stop selling this. When I shared this report with my client decided to concentrate more on copiers business and what? Phones business. Why my client decided to concentrate more on copiers and phones business means more profit. They're giving more profit. So when you share any report to the client will see the data in the report and they will take actions. Today they take two actions using this. One action is stop selling these three subcategories. Second action is concentrating more on this, right? That is what, when you create the reports, that reports will contain what type of information? Actionable information. That reports finally you will share with whom? Means clients. So this complete process, we call it as which process? Business intelligence process. In that process, you are going to convert company's business data into what? Actionable. Where do you have business data? OLTPs. Where do you have actionable information? Reports. Reports. How the business data is converting into actionable information is by doing ETL, by creating OLAP database, by creating reports. Right. Tomorrow, when you even join in the company, you need to implement the same steps, guys. So, at a high level, now we understand what is business intelligence process. What is business intelligence process? We understand, guys. Next step is what? How to implement the business intelligence process using what? Power BI. Let's see how to implement this BI process with Power BI. Just I'm giving at a high level how to implement this BI process using Power BI. So we know that Power BI was developed using what? By a company called what? Microsoft. What might be the reason Microsoft developed this Power BI means? What might be the reason? To analyze the, no doubt, Microsoft developed this Power BI in order to analyze what? Company's business data. I already said that any company, when they want to analyze the business data, they want to implement which process? Business intelligence process. In short, we call it as BI process, guys. Any company, when they're planning to analyze their business data, we need to implement this BI process. Already we know what a BI process will contain, right? It contains how many steps? 5 steps. What are that 5 steps means? OLTP, ETL, OLAP, reports, sharing them with clients. Now you need to implement these 5 steps using which software? Power BI. Now let me tell you how to implement these 5 steps using Power BI. First point you need to know is Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Oh, it's not the name of a single software. It is the name for collection of softwares. What are the different softwares you have in Power BI? In Power BI, first software you have is what? Power BI Desktop. Second software we have is what? Power BI Service. Third software we have is what? Power BI Report Server. Report Server. Fourth software we have is what? Power BI Mobile. These are the four major softwares we have in Power BI. For these four softwares together, Microsoft given the name called what? Power BI. Okay. So these are the collection of softwares you have. We need to use this collection of softwares to implement this BI process, guys. To implement what? BI process. This BI process will create what? reports. That reports will help companies to do what? Analyze the data. Now, one more important point you need to understand is out of these four softwares, the most important software for the Power BI developer is Power BI Desktop, guys. What is that? Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is a development software in Power BI. It's a development development software in Power BI, guys. When you join in the company as a Power BI developer, 80 to 90% of time, Power BI developer will work in Power BI Desktop only, right? When you join in the company, 80 to 90% of time, around 90% of time, Power BI developer work in which software? That's so. Remaining all these three softwares, he hardly work for how much time? 10% of time. And another point you need to know is this is Power BI Desktop software. Internally in Power BI Desktop software, there are three more softwares. What are that? Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. You might be heard about Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. Those are available under where? Power BI Desktop. Let me write that point. So Power BI Desktop internally contains three softwares. First one is Power Query. Second one is Power Pivot. And third one is Power View. Power View. We use all these softwares to implement this BI process. Tell me, tomorrow when you join in the company as a Power BI developer, who will provide the OLTP databases? Company will provide you. They will be readily available. You don't need to do anything here. This OLTP databases are readily available for Power BI developer. Right. So once company provided OLTP databases, what they will ask you to create? Reports. Why they will ask you to create the reports means? To analyze the data. Now, is it recommended to create the reports on OLTPs means? No. We already discussed it. Then what Power BI developer need to create? OLAP database. Where Power BI developer will create OLAP databases in a software in Power BI. In which software? In Power BI you have what? Collection of softwares. Out of that collection of softwares, which software will we will use to create that OLAP database is Power Pivot case. Understand? Power Pivot is a database. Power Pivot is a database which is used for what? Creating OLAP database case or OLAP model. OLAP model. Look at here. OLAP model. Look at here. How SQL Server is one database. How Oracle is one database. In Power BI Desktop also inbuilt you have one database. What is the database name? Power Pivot. The database is used for creating what type of databases? OLAP databases, guys. Okay, we understand. This OLAP database will create in Power Pivot. Now you need to move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database. To move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database, what you need? ETL software. What is the ETL software in Power BI? Where we will do this ETL work is in a software called what? Power Query. There is one software with the name called Power Query. This Power Query is used to perform what? Power Query is used to perform ETL activities. What activities? It is a ETL software. Power Query is a ETL software in Power BI. I can write like this. Power Query is a ETL software in Power BI. Software in Power BI. So far we understand. OLTPs will be provided by the company. ETL can be done in where? Power Query. OLAP database will be created in where? Power Pivot. What is the next step? Create reports. Where we will create the reports is using Power View. Power View is a reporting software which is used to create the reports, guys. Power View is a reporting software where we will create reports. In Power BI Desktop, there are three types of softwares. Look at here, this architecture slide. In Power BI Desktop, what is the first software you have? ETL software. What is the ETL software? Power Query. You have another database. Second software you have in Power BI Desktop is what? A database, which is used for creating OLAP. What is the third software you have in Power BI Desktop is reporting software, which will create what? Reports. This Power Query will connect to the OLTP databases, will extract the tables, Power Query will transform the data in the tables how I need to show in the reports. The transformed tables it will load into the Power Pivot. The transformed tables will create OLAP database. The tables will use it in creating what? Reports. Now the reports contains what? Actionable information. Who want to see that? Clients. So unfortunately, Power BI Desktop cannot share that reports directly with the clients. Power BI Desktop have capabilities to do ETL, to create OLAP database, to create reports, but it cannot share that with what? Clients directly. In order to share the reports with the clients, either we need to publish it to the Power BI service. From there, we need to share with the clients, or either we need to publish it to the Power BI report server. From there, we need to share with what? Right. So here the question is to share the reports with the clients. We are telling that either I can use Power BI service or either I can use Power BI report server. The question here is to do ETL, I have only one software. What is that software? Power Query. To create OLAP database, only one software. Power Pivot. To create reports, only one software. Power View. To share the reports with the clients, you have two softwares, Power BI service and report server. Why two softwares? Why not only one? So redundant, right? So important point you need to understand is no company will use both of them. 99% of the companies, they will develop the reports in the Power BI Desktop. They will publish it to the Power BI service. They will share with the clients. Greater than 99% of the companies, they will use which one for sharing the reports? Power BI service. Less than 1% of the companies develop the reports in the desktop, publish it to where? Power BI report server, share with the clients. Less than 1%. Now, what is the difference is one is a cloud, second one is a on-premise guys. First one is cloud-based server. What is this one? Cloud-based server. Second one we call it as what? On-premise. Nowadays people are using cloud or on-premise? Cloud. So 99% of the companies they are using cloud server, not the on-premise server. Let me tell you guys. So no company will use both of them. Either they will use Power BI service or what? Report server. Power BI service is a Azure cloud-based server which is used for what purpose? Sharing reports with the clients. As we said, how many percentage of clients are using? 99% of companies they're using this. Power BI report server is what? On-premise server, which is used for which is used for sharing the reports with the clients. Less than 1% of the clients, what happened? Less than 1% of the companies, clients, they will use this. Less than 1%, guys. Right. Now, once you publish the report from Power BI Desktop to the Power BI service, once you share with the clients, clients can see that reports in the laptop. Client can open, if he have a laptop, he can open the laptop and he can see the reports. Client can see that reports in the desktop. Even client can see that reports in the mobile phones. Where? Mobile phones. Now you people, some people are attending the class in the laptop. Some people are attending the class in their desktops. Some people are attending the class in where? Mobile phones also. Nowadays, if you want to check the Gmail, mostly you are checking the Gmails in where? Mobiles. In order to check the Gmail in mobile, you will install mobile apps, right? So even in order to check the reports, Power BI reports in the mobiles, they need one mobile application. What is that mobile application we have? Power BI Mobile. If you go to the Play Store or App Store, if you search with a name called Power BI Mobile, you will find Power BI Mobile application. Power BI Mobile, it's a mobile app which is used for what purpose? Which is used for viewing reports in where? Mobiles or tabs or iPads. Who will install this mobile application? Power BI developer or clients? Clients. Clients will install this mobile app and they will view the reports in the mobile phone. So we have mobile app for all the OS guys. We have mobile app for what? iOS, Android, and what? Windows. All the OS. So which mobile client is using? If he's using iPhone, iOS. If he's using any Android phone, Android app, he can download. So these are the collection of softwares we have in Power BI. Tell me guys, with this collection of softwares, am I able to implement this BI process or not? Yes. Who will provide OLTPs means company. Where I can do ETL means Power Query. Where I can create OLAP database means Power Query. Where I can create reports means Power View. Mostly how can I share the reports with the clients means Power BI service. Where mostly clients can see the reports nowadays means mobile, right? These are the different softwares we have. The softwares will help us to create the report. That reports will help companies to do what? To analyze the business data. This is all about Power BI, guys. So now, before we go with the questions, let me conclude, guys. Before we go with the questions, let me conclude. So coming two more classes are free. Coming two more classes are free. Let me copy paste it. Instead of typing it, I'll just quickly copy paste it. Coming two more classes are free. I'll go with the questions within few seconds. Coming two more classes are free. I'm starting a new batch on 3rd May 2023, guys. At 7, the continuation to today's classes. So today is 30 April, 3rd May Wednesday. Within 3 days, at what time? This batch timings is what? 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Every day 1 hour, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. If these timings are suitable, the continuation to today's class will start on 3rd May 2023. Or what is the day means? Wednesday. So Wednesday you will join the class at what time? 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. If this timing 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. is not possible, another new batch will start on what? This is the batch 1. This is the batch 2. Batch 2 will start on what? 10th May, guys. 10th May 2023. 10th May is also again what? Wednesday. The time is what again? 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Evening batch. Either you can choose this morning batch or evening batch. So coming two classes you can attend for free. So this third and fourth, these two classes you can attend for free, guys. In the two classes, practically I'll discuss what we discussed theoretically today. In the two classes, no, tell me, Power BI developer work will start in where? Power BI desktop. Why? Because this will be provided by the companies. So in the next class, I'll show you how to download the Power BI desktop, how to install it. Practical I'll show you. And then I'll show you how to open the Power BI desktop. In Power BI desktop, how to open Power Query. In Power Query, how to do ETL at a high level, I'll explain. Once after explaining at a high level Power Query, then I'll explain how to open Power Pivot, how to create a OLAP database. Then I'll tell you how to open Power View, how to use this OLAP database to create what? Reports. Then I'll tell you how to publish that reports to the Power BI service, how to share the reports with the clients. This complete process, practically I'll discuss in the coming two more classes, free classes. You just join two free classes. They will not cost you anything, but they will make you understand this complete process practically, right? So now I'll drop one mail within few seconds. The mail will contains four things. What are the mail will contains is, first thing it will contains what? You'll get the recording, today's class recording. Second thing you'll get in the mail is what? Notepad. Whatever I written in the last 1 hour, you'll get this running notes, guys. You'll get this running notes, notepad in the mail. What is the third thing you'll get is one Word document. All these are Power BI related materials, guys. Look at this. All these are Power BI related materials. When I start any topic, each topic will get one Word document which contains complete explanation of that class. Today I have Power BI introduction. So this is the material for introduction. This Word document, I'll attach it. Go and read it once. You'll get one Word document. Next one, in the same mail, you'll get what? Course content. This is the course content. What topics I'm going to cover as part of this training? You have here. What is the duration of the course? 60 hours. In the 60 hours of time, what topics I'm going to cover? You can see in this course content, guys. I want to tell one point. So now what I'm going to cover in 60 hours, I'll explain it on high level. I don't go through this course content each topic wise now, but believe me, whatever the topics I included in this course content, every topic with real-time examples I'll discuss, real-time practical examples. Now, what I'm going to cover in the 60 hours, I listed here, guys. First, I'll start with what? Power Query. How many hours I'll discuss Power Query? 15 hours. What I will make you to learn there? How to do the ETL activities. Power Query extensively 15 hours of time. How to do the ETL activities. How to extract the tables from different data sources. how to transform the data in the tables, how to load the tables to the Power Pivot. We'll discuss. Next, we'll discuss about what? Power Pivot. How many hours we'll discuss? 15 hours. What you will create in Power Pivot? OLAP database. In order to create OLAP database, you need to know data modeling concepts. You need to know data warehousing concepts. You need to know DAX language, guys. One of the important one for the Power BI developer is DAX language. In order to create OLAP database, you need to know three concepts. What are that? Data modeling, data warehousing, and DAX language. So here, look at here. When I go and start Power Pivot have three parts: data modeling, data warehousing, DAX. DAX itself will discuss for 10 hours of time. For 10 hours, what is this DAX language? What we will do there extensively we'll discuss. This is one of the important area for the Power BI developer. So once after this Power Pivot, we'll start with what? Power View. Power View will discuss how many hours? 17 hours. We'll discuss how to create what? Reports. Look at this. How to generate this kind of interactive reports. How to generate this kind of interactive reports. We will be discussing in 17 hours of time. How to generate this kind of reports, we'll discuss in 17 hours of time, guys. Once after generating the reports, what is the next step? Power BI service. 13 hours we'll talk about Power BI service. What we'll discuss there? Azure concepts, cloud concepts, then admin concepts, sharing the reports with the clients, refreshing the data in the reports, all that admin related concepts we'll discuss. We'll even discuss what? Power BI project. So believe me guys, in this 60 hours, you not only learn what are the topics we have in Power BI, what add-ons you will get in the 60 hours means complete real-time project explanation you will get. We'll discuss Power BI developer roles and responsibilities. We'll help you in preparing your resumes. We'll conduct all the interview questions we'll discuss, and we'll even conduct what? Mock interviews. And most importantly, every class recording you'll get. All 60 hours recorded sessions will be shared. Classes. Every class recording you'll get. Right. Before we go with the questions, this is what I'm going to cover, guys. I'll give the enough time for the questions. Commonly, we'll get two types of questions from the student. First question is, uh, any prerequisites to learn what? Power BI. Strictly, I will tell you, no, guys. Understand? You are from non-IT background. You don't have any IT experience. Let's say you are from triple E background, or you are a degree person where you don't have any computer knowledge. Let's say BJC or something you have, or some other any degree related branches where there is no computer knowledge. You just have a graduation, you don't have any computer knowledge. I can recommend you can go with Power BI. There is no prerequisite. People will think that to learn the Power BI they already need to have Excel knowledge, already they need to have SQL knowledge. Strictly, I'm telling this in the recording session. To learn Power BI, no prerequisites, guys. But to get the job on Power BI, along with the Power BI, must and should you need to have which knowledge? SQL knowledge. So here, nowhere in the Power BI development, in Power Query we don't use SQL. In Power Pivot we don't use SQL. In Power View we don't use SQL. In Power BI service we don't use SQL. Nowhere in the Power BI development phase we don't use SQL. But to get the job on Power BI, SQL is mandatory. Why SQL is mandatory? I'll discuss. You can parallelly start learning Power BI and SQL. To get the job, you need to learn two things. One is Power BI, second one is what? SQL. This SQL Server course, in our institute, we have SQL Server course for 35 hours of time. So, for Power BI students, the minimal fee you will be having. So, you can join the power. It's a separate course, guys. Power BI will be for how many hours? 60 hours. Along that Power BI 60 hours, what you need to learn? SQL Server for 35 hours. Both you can start parallelly. In this training classes, where exactly SQL is required in Power BI, we'll discuss. So SQL is not required in the development part. So mostly companies will provide the data in database. To understand the data in the databases, I need to write what queries means? SQL queries. SQL queries we need to write. So by writing SQL queries, you will see first what data is there. Then you will take the data and you will generate what? Reports. So why SQL is required is SQL is used to understand source data as well as to validate the data. When you create the reports, whether the report data is correct or not, we will do testing. For testing purpose, it is required. Even if you don't have any prior computer knowledge, you are good to start learning Power BI. But parallelly, you need to learn what? SQL. Right. You need to take two courses, guys. Fine. This is all about Power BI. And one more question we will get is, okay, prerequisite we discussed. Generally, what is the another question we'll get commonly from the students is, okay, I'm done with my graduation 5 years back. Am I able to do this course? Can I get the job? Means yes, guys. If you're done with your graduation 5 years back, what you will do is for 1 2 years you will tell that you are not working anywhere, and you'll keep that 3 years from last 3 years you are working on Power BI. You'll keep this experience such a way. Let's say some people will ask me from last 10 years I'm working in some other IT skill like testing or mainframe. Am I eligible to convert my experience into Power BI experience? Happily you can convert. So you are working for last 10 years in testing side. Let's say what you will do is you will prepare the resume in such a way for 7 years you are working on testing, but last 3 years you switch from testing to Power BI and you are generating the reports for last 3 years. Then in the new company you will go as a Power BI developer. You can comfortably switch. So the next question you'll get is, I'm done with my graduation 10 years back. From this last 10 years, I'm working in non-IT jobs like customer support, or either in a bank, or either in as a lecturer, or some other place you are working. You are planning to switch into IT field now. Yes, you can comfortably switch it. We'll clearly help you how to prepare your resume. This 10 years where you are working in the bank, how you'll keep the experience is 7 years you'll keep same experience, but last 3 years you'll keep the experience in such a way where you are working in what? Power BI projects. I'll talk to you one on one. I'll tell you how to prepare your resumes, guys. So on the whole, if you are done with the graduation 3 4 years back, and if you are not working anywhere, you are good to learn this course. You can switch into it. You are working in the IT for 10 years on a different technology, you are good to switch into Power BI. You are working in some other domain for 10 years, now you are planning to switch into IT, you can comfortably switch. We'll talk to you one on one on this, guys. We'll help you. Right. So now I'll go with some questions, guys. Now, anybody have any questions from today's class, today's demo?